And that is what I will say is another red flag for a healthy organization and a non-healthy organization. If the leader is not imposing boundaries or recognizing boundaries, then I would see that as a red flag at this point. Like my teacher puts up, like, we don't go to my teacher's house. We don't go.
You don't show up at the volleyball court at 2 a.m. To meet
Exactly.
some short, fat guy named Keith Raniere. That's another red flag. If anybody asks you to go to a volleyball court at 2 a.m., just pass.
And they look like a troll. I mean,
I
I
know.
laughed with my friend Kelly, and I might have said this off camera. So I'll say it on camera, and I apologize if this offends anyone, but I was like, that man is so disgusting. He had to create a cult in order to get laid. Like,
I
he's
know,
so
but how did volleyball fit into that too? I mean, he's not only uncharismatic. I mean, I don't want to speak though, because I bet you in the cult they probably did think he was charismatic and stuff. Just like a lot of people go, how could you follow Hubbard? But on even volleyball, the weight, the headband, the whole thing about him. Again, outsiders would go, I'd never fall for that. But he also was a master hypnotist, and he stole a ton from Scientology. He uses a lot of. Did you ever see that scene? There's a clip of it on YouTube, and it was either in Seduced or the other documentary, The Vow. But there's a scene where Allison Mack comes in to the volleyball court, and just the way he walks over kind of breaks her down, gives her a kiss, and she's almost crying. She begs for an EM, and you could just watch her go under and be manipulated. Where Keith almost does nothing but look in her eyes like a snake, and you could just watch her go under in about 10 minutes. You know what scene I'm talking about? It's quite amazing.
I remember because Allison Mack is just a little bit older than me, so I remember watching Smallville as a teenager, and so she was the recognizable one to me. And I remember thinking, like, oh my God, she was on a show, when I was a teenager, and she's the powerful one because she has, and the way that he was able to almost crush her.
Yeah.
In that situation. Did she marry a woman from Canada just to get her a green card, but she's straight? Like, that would offend me. Like, if somebody asked me to marry
a lot
woman,
of things that he asked him to do, because I would say that she's probably an empathic person with a trauma background. Just guessing, he like a shark could sniff out that she's a prime target. And the more empathy and the more you care, I think the longer you can stay in the trap, because you're going to think it's your fault, and you can see him play her. So, she did some of the most evil things to the other adherents, but then the subject of brainwashing comes up where, maybe she was a really good person that just got super manipulated because of her good qualities. And Keith sniffed that out and used her to do evil things under the guise of helping. It's just, she's such a case study because, how could someone so uncharismatic and ugly, where you have Allison Mack, she's famous, she has everything going for her. What would she need from him? We know what he would need from her, and yet that you can see the snake catch the predator.
Yeah.
Is that important to you?
Yes.
Why?
Why is that important to me? Because it's, because I think it's, because so much of who I am is wrapped up in art.
Give me an example. I guess I'm not.
When I go to see a film or a piece of artwork or something happens to me, I'm just so excited and one blissful, joyful.
You can practice generating an extreme feeling of joy over anything. There are methods that we have, especially in 2C. That goes through this. It's one of our intensives. What's it called now? Civilization? Civilization? I mean, what if artistic endeavors were really bogus? What if art was just an excuse for those who couldn't do?
It is sometimes.
The most excitement that you've ever felt is yours to have all the time, independent of art. The bad news is you sort of have to divorce yourself from the thought that comes from the art. If you feel that art is necessary for that, that's almost a self-condemnation. Why is this emotion? It's okay. She comes in clutch.
I know, right? I should be used to this. Is what I do for a living. Because it's pointing at something I've never thought about. And a part of me is kind of freaked out about accepting this. I'm used to that self-condemnation. I'm comfortable with that. If I let go of that belief, that it's not the art that's giving me this feeling, it's me that's giving me this feeling, then I have to trust that I will be capable of giving myself that feeling. And I don't necessarily trust that right now. And so that's scary, because I want that feeling. Will you give me an EM? Not right now, but at some point.
I normally don't give people EMs like.
I don't know the protocol because I'm just
We'll see what happens.
popping my cherry. So.
Oh my.
So to speak.
I turn a little red. But I mean, to some degree, we did a little bit hard.
Yeah, I felt that.
So.
Thank you. That was
Do you hug?
really. Do I hug? I hug and I kiss.
Oh, good voice.
Thank you. Me too.
Allison was just so excited for me to meet Keith.